Let's take a look at what our projected lines are here for tonight, and we've got some changes. There is no Luke Schenn or Logan Stanley out on the ice for warm-up. You know, at this time of the year, we see a lot of players be held out that could be on the trading block. Are you surprised to see Logan Stanley and Luke Schenn not in the lineup this evening?
Now Logan Stanley and Luke Schenn being held out of the lineup, it's every indication that they have played their last game for the Winnipeg Jets.
Every deadline is different, and you set out with different goals or a different path. Obviously, the last several deadlines we've been very aggressive in trying to acquire players, whether it was rentals or whether it was players that had some term, again, that fit. We're fortunate to be in those type of situations, and we're as aggressive as we possibly could. That being said, we're at a point in time here where we have to be a little bit realistic about where we're at.
Leading up to the deadline, the Jets are certainly in an interesting position. I mean, you're not in a playoff spot, but yet you do have some assets. So you knew that there was going to be some volatility, some movement with their roster. How much so, I guess, was the question leading up to certainly the deadline day. But there was a lot of question marks and not a lot of answers that were forthcoming, but you knew that something was going to happen on the horizon.
You're looking at the marketplace, through a different lens. I think you're still, looking in, on the trade sides of things to see, is there anything out there that helps us? But you're looking at more from a longer term lens, I think.
When you look at the Winnipeg Jets, I mean, mostly we're looking at Logan Stanley, and he's a coveted defenseman, but for Winnipeg to consider trading him, they've got to get a fair offer. But again, it's all part of the number of players that remain in the game.
So that's where we stand on Thursday evening. There'll likely be significant changes by the time we go to bed on Thursday night.
And boy, do we have some intrigue to talk about, noticing the absence of a couple of key individuals on that Winnipeg Jets defense. Logan Stanley and Luke Schenn not dressed. Billy Heinola and Isaac Phillips in the lineup tonight.
And it's showtime from downtown Winnipeg.
Yeah, we found out kind of when we came to the rink and they post the lineup up. At the end of the day, we just have to control what we could control, and that just being the best professional you can be. Yeah, no, it's tough. I think, we're not robots, and I know people say, you get paid handsomely for what you do. Doesn't mean it can't tug on your heart a little bit, especially when there's guys that you spend some time with, and then, like you said, you got kids, and you get to know their spouse or their wife, and, you're kind of doing play dates, birthday parties, all that stuff. You're a human being, but, hopefully that, during your time you can have some lifelong friends through the process.
Here's Nyquist! Scores! That's Nyquist has his first as a Winnipeg Jet. Bit of a depleted defense tonight. Didn't matter. The Jets beat the Lightning 4-1.
Scott, we've seen this across the NHL, whether guys sitting out for potential trades or being traded. The guys have come out after the game and said they need to kind of regroup. What is that mood change when, you understand it's a business, but you also, have two friends, teammates that are sitting out potentially leaving?
Yeah, it's a really tough situation, and I talked to the team beforehand. You're sitting out two guys that are, have been, teammates for, the last few years, and it's hard. There's relationships there. Those guys, they have family. It's easy for, people to just say, "I'll trade that guy, trade this guy, move this guy in." With it. Well, there's some human aspect to it of family and kids and all those things, friendships. It's very hard on everybody, and so it's not a lot of fun.
Hello.
Hey Larry, how you doing?
Hey Eric, good. How are you?
I'm good. All right, Larry, you sent the details. Do you want to read them off for us?
Sure. The Winnipeg Jets trade player Logan Stanley and player Luke Schenn to the Buffalo Sabres in exchange for player Isaac Rosen player Jacob Bryson, Buffalo's own second-round pick in 2027, and the better of Buffalo or Edmonton's pick in the 4th round of 2026. In addition, Winnipeg agrees to retain 50% of Luke Schenn's salary for the remainder of the season.
Josh, do you know, it's Chevy here, do you know if Isaac's been, Roseanne has been told or not?
I don't know if he has. I don't think he has because we just traveled back from Pitt and just landed like 20 minutes ago. So I know Bryson has been told.
Yeah.
Grabbed him when we got off the plane.
Right.
I don't think Roseanne has been told.
Okay. I guess to make it clean, why don't we say 1 a.m. Eastern, that's 20 minutes, Brownie?
Sure.
1 a.m. Eastern?
Okay. That works for us.
Okay.
Okay. That's it. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks for doing this tonight, guys. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks.
If you wait for the beginning of an end that's sure to come.
Take care, buddy.
All your dreams choked in their shadows, fly away on the run. No one knows if that tomorrow will be filled with misery and pain.
Winnipeg Jets are pleased to select from the Windsor Spitfires of the OHL, Logan Stanley.
We can smile.
When guys are moving out as opposed to coming in, it's never fun.
Make it last another day.
I've been here a long time, and we've spent a lot of time together. We're really close friends, and at the end of the day, it's tough to lose great friends.
Make it last another day.
So a little quiet today, which is kind of what we expected after they made the deals last night.
That's right, James. The Jets aren't really in a position to look for rentals right now because they are still 7 points back of that second wild card spot right now. So will things happen today, James? I'm not 100% sure, especially with what Shovel-Dayoff has to work with, but never say never on Trade Center. I'll keep my eyes and ears posted here in Winnipeg.
And we are glad to have you on your first ever Trade Center. That's Daniel Main in Winnipeg.
I don't know whether Chevy and Yarmo just reconnected at 159, Connor, but it looks like Tanner Pearson going to Buffalo.
So we have the return. It's a 7th rounder per Darren Dreger.
7th rounder, okay.
Yes.
So I think it was important to open up a spot. You've got a room for not only Rosine to play, but also potentially another deserving player from the Moose at some point in these 20 games.
Well, there's no doubt it's hard to see a guy that was nurtured and drafted in your system go out the door in Logan Stanley after having him and making a commitment in him to your organization for 10 years. But you knew something was going to happen. You had some assets. You moved some assets out the door, created some spots, I think. There was a real good check and a balance here for what management did. They were able to divest themselves of some assets. They were also able to create some spots to move some of their younger players up into the lineup for the Manitoba Moose. So I think it ticked 2 boxes, and they certainly, I think, had a successful trade deadline.
Yeah, I was in Laval, so heading, I was gonna sleep actually, and then a friend texted me, called me, said, I think you're going now. I see a lot of rumors here. Then, 5 minutes later, I get a call, and it was a weird feeling at first, but I'm super excited to be here.
It kind of caught me by surprise. I came off the plane, and our GM grabbed me and said I was coming to Winnipeg, so I didn't really know, and so it kind of caught me by surprise a little bit, but I was excited right at that moment. An opportunity to play and come to an awesome organization. A little adversity is exciting. I talked to Combs and he said they're pushing right now, and that's what the coach said too. So they're not many points out. All it takes is 5, 6 you get in a row there, and you're right back into it. So, but I'm just excited to for this new opportunity and to meet all these guys, and so far it's been awesome.